This is my other experiment in hydroponics. I built this system last summer as well. It's actually a pretty simple setup. Of course, if I had to do it all again, I would probably do quite a few things differently. But, DIY projects, are sort of trial and error. So basically, this is sort of a combination NFT deep water culture technique. It's actually more accurately a deep water culture technique. All the roots basically sit down in the water. The water is pumped up from the reservoir here. I also have an air stone inside the reservoir, keeping everything oxygenated. Ideally, you would want to wrap this so no algae can grow inside there. Last summer I had a blanket around it all summer. I'll probably have to wrap this up with some black tape here pretty soon. But it's been running for a good 2 weeks now and it hasn't grown anything really. No light can really get into this large tube here. Also in this I have one air stone on a line. Of course the water, I don't know if you can see that, the water just gets pumped into the little hose there. The roots hang down directly into the water. This is basil and parsley, which I grew from seed. I've got a couple of strawberry plants in here, which I picked up at the nursery, and they've really taken off so far. Cilantro I grew from seed. Sage I grew from seed. These are going to be peppers. I may have to move them out of this system soon. Also from seed, and the oregano as well. Now all these seem to be doing really well on the same nutrient regimen. That'll all change, of course, if I want to try to get some strawberries out of these. I've got a couple more strawberry plants that I may put in the other holes and just move all my herbs or harvest all the herbs so I can bloom some strawberries and get some fruit out of those. Last summer I grew tomatoes in this setup, and it was not large enough. The root mass completely took over the pipe. So if you wanted to build this sort of a setup to grow tomatoes, I would suggest using at least a 6-inch or probably an 8-inch pipe would be a better way to go. And like I said, I would do things quite a bit differently. All of this is pretty ghetto rigged, the way that is hooked up there. And of course the way the water in is hooked up in there with just duct tape. It's pretty awful. One thing I wanted to show you was there's also an air stone inside the chamber to make sure there's more air bubbles in there. And the hose I use has holes in it as well. So all along the chamber there's a few holes to really keep lots of oxygen to the roots. And that is my window